everybody, my name is Amanda and welcome to my very first vlog. I am here with my 10.5-month-old son Nathan, and he's going to be in and out of this first video that we make. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Anyway, so just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I am 33 years old and this is our first child. We tried for over 3 years to get pregnant, so we were completely shocked when it finally happened, and we were so excited to welcome Nathan into the world. Prior to being a mom, I was a court reporter in a Kansas courthouse, and I did that for over 10 years. So it has been quite a difference going from being in a courtroom every day surrounded by attorneys and judges to being a stay-at-home mom where I hang out with my son and our dogs all day, and sometimes we'll go an entire day without talking to anyone besides my son and my husband. But I wouldn't change it for the world. It's literally the best job I've ever had, and it's just so much fun to watch him grow up. I plan on our YouTube channel just kind of capturing our day-to-day lives, and sometimes it is going to be a sit-down video just like this, and other days it's just going to be randomly like our day-to-day from when we wake up until we go to bed and just everything in between. But I do think that what I'm going to start off with is an overview of some of the items that we've used with Nathan since I was pregnant all the way up until now, and just kind of give my review on different products. So one of the products that I want to talk about are the baby bottles that we decided to use for Nathan. And these are the bottles we've been using ever since he was a newborn. So I definitely recommend them. I think they're great and we've had no issues with them. And the brand that we went with is Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown's, I should say. And there was really no reason that I used these except for the fact that it's what my sister used and she said they were great bottles, so that's what I decided to go with. Now, I will say that I registered for 2 different kinds. They look to be the same except for one has the green insert and one has the blue insert. And you wouldn't think that there'd be any difference because the bottles look the exact same, but for some reason, the green insert leaks everywhere. Like as soon as you bring it back up after feeding your baby and set it down on a surface, milk just kind of starts coming out from it. And so whenever I use the green ones, I always have to make sure that there's like a coaster I'm putting it on or else milk is going to go everywhere. So I would definitely recommend getting the blue inserts. What we ended up doing is for the first 6 months of Nathan's life, I was breastfeeding. And unfortunately, I was not able to actually have Nathan latch onto me. So we were pumping for every single bottle that he drank. So I was pumping like 6 to 7 times a day. And unfortunately, my supply just never really got up to the point that I wanted it to get to. And exclusively pumping is very hard. And so I only lasted 6 months. So we have been doing formula ever since January. However, I was able to freeze some of the milk that I pumped. So I try to give him at least 1 breastfed bottle every day. And I'm hoping that that'll last until he's 1 year old. So Dr. Brown's bottles. That's the bottles I would recommend. And what's kind of cool about this one is I use the Medela breast pump, and actually the base of this bottle fits into all of the stuff that you use. And so I was able to hook one of the Dr. Brown's bottles and one of the Medela bottles up while I was pumping, and then I would just pour what was ever in the Medela bottle into the Dr. Brown's bottle, and it saved me like washing 1 bottle every pump. And once you start washing bottles, you'll realize that that's actually a huge savings. So just a little tidbit there. So as you can see over here, it's kind of like baby bottle station. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I went ahead and had this big of a station because I like to keep my counters really like clutter-free, but it's kind of hard to avoid when you have a baby. So what I have here, and this is definitely something that I would recommend, is a microwave sterilizer for your bottles. And I just got done sterilizing bottles, so it's kind of all torn apart here, but I really like how it, the bottles fit in there like that. You fill it up with some water in the bottom, you put the bottles in, and then I was recommended because of the watt of my microwave to sanitize them, or excuse me, sterilize them for 4 minutes. So it just really kind of adds that extra little, security knowing that your bottles are sterilized. And then I definitely recommend these drying racks. I think they're the Munchkin brand, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just really convenient. As you can see, like everything is super easy to get to. So I really definitely recommend these as well. And this has been my lifesaver. And I have to say, like, this is why I came over here to show you the bottle station, is because of this little product here. I got it at Target, but I know you can get it at Bye Bye Baby, and I'm sure you can get it on Amazon as well. But it's called the Baby Brezza, I'm not exactly sure. But it is kind of like a baby Keurig a little bit. It, like, totally measures out the formula and the water according to however many ounces you choose to make. And then you just put the bottle underneath here and push start, and it just makes the bottle for you. And this was a lifesaver when Nathan was like, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 months old, because when he was hungry right then and there. And it was just really nice to have like a hands-free device that could help me make his bottles, because he was just getting so impatient. And when I was trying to like pour the scoops of formula into the water, I just ended up making a mess all over the counter because he would squirm and bump it or whatever. So I definitely recommend this if you're not going to be breastfeeding. I just think it really is a great product. Another couple of things that we ended up doing is I have 2 high chairs, which I know kind of seems ridiculous, but we have a big island in our kitchen, and then we have a kitchen table. And I just kind of like the idea of like wherever we were sitting to eat dinner, Nathan had access to a chair and we didn't have to like move furniture around. So I thought that was really a good idea. So the first item that we have over here is our Fisher-Price, like, I don't know, this is what it looks like. But I set him in here, and this is actually most of the time where he eats his meals at, because I like to just have a chair that I can pull up next to it and feed him, and it just makes it really nice. And one thing that I really like about this particular one is it has a little area here for you to actually put your bib, so it hang dries and is ready to go by the time you have your next meal. This is the high chair that stays in our kitchen, and it is a Graco high chair. And what I really like about this one is it's a high chair for now, and then once the child gets older, the top of it completely lifts off and it can just be a booster seat. And knowing that we plan on having more than one child, I just thought it would be really convenient to have more than one booster seat already purchased so that all of our kids have somewhere to sit when they get older. So my husband and I decided to go with the video monitor system to keep an eye on Nathan. And the reason for that is because we do have a 2-story home. And so when he's in his room and crying, it's nice to just look at the video and see if it's something that we need to go up and address and take care of, or if it's just like he's trying to find comfort and just, you know, can't get comfortable or whatever, and he's just kind of rolling around and we don't necessarily need to go up there. And so we just find that this video monitor like is definitely working for us, and I'm really glad we got it. And we decided to go with the Motorola one. And I did a dual camera system. So there's one that looks into his crib, and then we actually have one that's in our living room as well. And the reason we did that is because when he was really little and his pack and play was set up in the living room, it was nice to be able to put him down in the pack and play and go fold laundry in our laundry room or whatever, and I could keep an eye on him there as well. So I really like the dual one. So the pack and play we decided to go with is this Graco pack and play. And right now it's set up for Nathan's current needs, which is completely all the way down, because when he was a newborn and a small baby, it actually had on one side a changing station and on the other side a baby bouncer, or kind of like a bassinet area. And that worked perfectly when he was really little, because it was really nice to just have like everything right here. Because as you can see, we have wipes and diaper cream and diapers and hand sanitizer and all that kind of stuff. So it was just really nice to like have him on the side that we changed him on, and we didn't have to worry about like running around trying to figure out where everything was at. And the only reason that we've decided to keep it set up in our living room right now is he is crawling everywhere. And so if I need to like run to the restroom, or if somebody knocks on the door or whatever, I can quickly put him in the pack and play and go do whatever I need to do. And I know that he's safe and can't get out or can't get hurt. So it's definitely working well for us. And as I mentioned earlier, I do have a camera that's actually focused on the pack and play. So we don't really use it so much anymore now that he's not in the pack and play that often, but I just wanted to point out that we do have that camera that is set to focus on it. And then we also keep a changing pad in our living room as well, just so that everything that we need is just right here. Another item that we decided to buy is this like walker thing. And I know that walkers are really controversial for babies to use, but
we really like this one. And as you can see, so does Nathan. He loves to just like walk around it on his own, and he can just go play with whatever he wants to play with on this little activity center. And then what's really cool about this is the activity center is a standalone item. And so once Nathan's walking and doesn't need help anymore, we can totally take this chair off and he can just have the activity center to play with. So we really like this, don't we, bud?
The baby carrier that I chose to go with is the Ergo Baby, and it looks like this. It's the 360, and it's the one that has the mesh in it. And the reason I decided to do that is because Nathan was born in July, and this was advertised as being able to breathe really easily with this mesh material. And so I thought it would be really handy to make sure that he didn't get overheated when I was carrying him. And this particular one does not come with the newborn insert, so I did have to buy that as a separate item, but I did buy that. And the unfortunate part is that Nathan actually didn't really love being held this way. He just preferred me holding him. And so I'm hoping that our next child, I just kind of like use this right off the bat and they don't know anything different. I think I just waited too long with Nathan. And so by the time I tried it, it was too late. He was definitely spoiled with being held all the time. So, but this is the one I went with, and I really do like it. And when he does use it, I find it to be very helpful.
The next thing I want to talk about is the type of chair that we used, like a floor seat for Nathan when he was really little. And a lot of people go with the Bumbo brand, which is completely fine, but I decided to go with the Mamas and Papas brand. And honestly, the reason for it is I really like this activity tray that came with it. Or actually, it didn't come with it. I had to buy it separately, but I really like this tray because it sets up, or the tray can just be like that. And we used to use this to like take over to friends' houses and stuff to like feed him like baby food and stuff. And so that's what we used just the tray part of it for. But then if we needed to do something and we needed to keep Nathan in a safe place, we'd put him in this chair and then we'd put this activity tray on top of it. And he really enjoyed playing with that, and it kept him busy for several minutes while we were doing whatever we needed to do. And I knew he was like in a safe environment. So we went with the Mamas and Papas brand. The next thing I want to talk about is the Fisher-Price Rock and Play. And we used this a ton when Nathan was a really little baby and could fit into it. But what I love about it is that it folds up really nicely and can fit into a car. And we would take this to like our friends' homes that didn't have anything for us to set Nathan in. Or if we knew that we were going to be going somewhere and Nathan needed to just have somewhere to like take a quick little nap, we would take this with us because it folds up and folds out really nicely and it's super convenient. And as a matter of fact, I like it so much that when we have our next baby, I plan on getting the Fisher-Price Rock and Play that automatically rocks, because this one you have to like physically rock it on your own. But they have one that you plug in and it actually rocks on its own. You don't have to do anything. So I definitely am going to get another one when we have our next baby. The baby gate that we decided to go with is this large baby gate by the brand Regalo. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. But the reason that we decided to do this big of a baby gate is because, as you can see off of our entryway, we have steps that go up to the upstairs level, and then we have stairs that go down into the basement. And I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to find a gate that could go on these stairs and these stairs without screwing into our banister. And I just really didn't want to ruin our banister. So I was suggested to do this by one of our friends, and it works perfectly for our home. So I'm glad we decided to do this. And we actually have the same baby gate at the top of our stairs. And the reason is because, again, I didn't want to screw into the banister or the wall. And so this just actually wraps around into our office here. And so you unfortunately can't close the door, but there's really no need to. And then it comes all the way over here, and we just kind of have it bunched up on our staircase here. And it kind of looks bad this close up, but from far away it looks fine. I'm pretty sure I ended up going through about 4 or 5 diaper bags before I finally decided that a backpack diaper bag was the way to go. And I'm so glad that I discovered that, because honestly, this is a lifesaver, especially now that Nathan's no longer in an infant car seat and he's in more of a toddler car seat, like the convertible car seat. It's nice to just throw this over my back and pick him up and go. So the brand that I decided to go with is Skip Hop. And if you open up this large pouch, it's just completely open. And so you can get access to everything you need within seconds. And here it came with a changing pad, which is really nice when you're out and about. And then it has a pouch here in the front to just kind of store whatever. And it actually came with an insulated cooler that went in here for any bottles that you have. And then there's just a pouch in the front that I keep like my keys and my wallet in. And then there's pouches on the side for bottles. And I also usually throw my cell phone in there. So this has kind of become a diaper bag / purse, and I love it. Another product that I would definitely recommend is getting some sort of a mat to put on your floor just to kind of keep like the toys in one area. And the reason I originally got it is because we have 3 dogs. And when Nathan was really little, it was really nice to put him on this mat, and the dogs couldn't get to him and he couldn't get to the dogs. And it also kind of kept the toys contained into one area. Now, as you can see, he kind of gets them all over, which is completely fine. He's a baby. But anyway, it was just really nice. And the sides here fold up, and so it kind of like created a little bit of a barrier. But now that he's crawling and all that kind of stuff, we just have discovered that it really just made more sense to have him down. But I still like to put him on here and keep his toys kind of in one little area if I can. And every night before bed, I just pick up all the toys and put them back on here. So one of the last things that I'm going to talk about in this video is the baby swing that we ended up choosing, and it is this swing by Graco. And the reason that we chose this swing is it almost completely lays down into a bassinet position, and I'll show you what that looks like here. And the reason that we really liked this swing, first of all, the print matches our pack and play, and both of these things were down in the living room when Nathan was really little, and so it really looked nice together. But ultimately, the reason I chose this one is we have 3 dogs who we weren't sure were going to be good with kids. And so I really liked that Nathan could be completely laying down in a flat position, but the dogs couldn't get to him. And so I really thought that was a neat feature. And actually, I would say for probably the first 2 weeks of his life, he slept in this because we were still sleeping in the living room because I had a C-section. And so I slept in the recliner so that I could easily get in and out of bed. And Nathan slept in this, and it really worked well.
Thank you so much for watching my very first video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm definitely going to be coming back and doing more vlogs in the future. And I'm not really sure what the topic's going to be. It's just going to be kind of random. I don't want to paint myself into a corner and talk about just any one thing because we have a busy life and you just never really know what we're going to talk about. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All done. All done.